everybody. So nice to see you. I think we've got quite a few people here already. I'm just having a look. There's looks like there's yeah, quite a few of you watching live, which is lovely. And of course, this live video will stay on YouTube for any time later that you want to rewatch it, or if you have to go away and you missed a bit, you can always catch up. And so let's just see who we've got here. Hi Jane, I've not bought one of these kits yet. Oh, have I missed? Oh yes, you see, I'm always doing this. Start at the bottom of the comments. Faith, hi Faith. Faith says hi Kirsty. Faith also says hi all. Helen, hi Faith and all. Diane, hi Steffi and everyone. Hello back.
Hi everybody.
Oh, now I'm chatting to myself again. Oh, okay. I need to just turn this completely down. Sorry, I'm looking at a different screen so I can interact with you all as well. But I've silenced myself now, which is yeah, nobody's ever managed that other than if you turn the volume down. Hi Diane, another Diane. Hi guys, hope you're all well. Just logged on ready, but have to finish making lunch. Back in 10 minutes. Okay, not to worry, we will see you very shortly then. And there is Faith again. Okay, see you soon, Diane. Jane, hi Steffi and everyone, hope you're all well. I'm getting to recognize names now. Yeah, I'm the same actually. Definitely Jane. Helen says, hi Jane, I've got the kit, but then too nervous to start. Oh, no, don't be nervous, don't be nervous. It's all totally amazing. And Emma is here today. This is a great project. I felt it mine so hard it sounded like rock when I tapped it on the table. I can imagine you doing that, Emma, because you're a bit of a perfectionist, so you will go until it goes no further. Hi Diane again. I've got the Geodes kit and we'll be doing it after this. And Faith, which one have you got? I'm thinking of doing the amethyst one. Can't spell. Sorry. Yeah, I knew what you meant. It's fine. We don't hold that against you. I'm terrible with spelling at times. I have to Google it all the time because I hate getting it wrong. So don't worry, you're not on your own. I'm multitasking, says Emma. Lots on my to-do list, but will be supporting Steffi as much as I can. Thank you, Emma. I'm very grateful. It's so nice to have you there. Donna, hi Donna, hello everyone, got my coffee and ready to go, hope everyone is well. Emma, you are a busy lady, she definitely is, Donna. Sparkling Geodes, have had the kit for a while. Helen, hi Steffi and Emma, hi Helen. Jane, I've not bought one of these kits yet. That's where I started, so that's how much I was at the top before I started reading the comments down at the bottom. There's I think it's Lies. Emma, I'm ready, got my cuppa and chocolate. Oh god, I want some chocolate too. But yeah, no, I've just got a rather boring peppermint tea here, but it is very refreshing and very thirst quenching. So, and of course my nice Everyone a Maker mug. But I believe the new mugs are on their way, ready for our 5th birthday party in June. So I hope you've got all of that in your diary. I'm sure that Emma will share in a minute when the exact date is. But I think it coincides, the birthday party coincides with what would have been our wild weekend away with the makers. And so I think it's Friday the 5th, but don't hold me onto it. But we will have an amazing live stream which we will perform on Facebook, not on YouTube, because it might be a bit boring for people to watch that afterwards. Not much useful information in there other than saying hello to everybody and eating cake. So, but put it in your diary if you're up for it, and then you can watch us all on Facebook. Hi Faith, Helen, Donna, that's Emma speaking. Indeed, organizing lots of instructions and new mug design. There you go. And our June newsletter is looking super swish. Excellent. Yay, new mug. Can't wait. Exactly. Diane, need a new mug. My handle has broken off the one I've got. Yeah, you definitely need a new one. Serena, hi Serena, hi everyone. And Medina, hi Medina, welcome here. Any international viewers with us here today is Emma is asking. And well, you're almost international, Donna. I know I'm reading your next comment here. Broken handle mug. Could you felt a pin cushion to fit the top and use it to store your needles safely while using them, stuffed into the pin cushion. That is an excellent idea. Thank you very much, Donna, for that. So if you didn't get that, you could reuse your mug by turning it into a pin cushion where you can store all your felting needles or sewing needles or pins, whatever you use on a daily basis. So just build a layer underneath. It doesn't even need to look pretty as long as the top's nice. Maybe you could have a theme going here like I have. Imagine that was sitting on top of a mug. I think that's what Donna is saying. I won't put this in my peppermint tea, but that's the idea. Great, great suggestion. Thank you, Donna. Oh, Diane is back from making lunch. Hi, Diane, and hi, Faith. I think I've said that already, but I'll say it again. Why not? So this week is Mental Health Awareness Week, and I think it's right to say that every single person I know, and maybe every single person you know, and maybe yourself, has been affected at some point from mental health issues, either with yourself or with somebody in your family. And I've had mental health issues with with one of my family members, and it's been extremely hard. Whether you are an outsider looking in or whether you are the person affected by it, I can't possibly say what is worse. I think both are pretty shitty, basically. Hope I'm allowed to say that on YouTube. I think it's kind of different with mental health because it's often invisible, and that has been my experience, that if you've got a member in your family who is affected by mental health and you know they're not very well, but sometimes there's a little bit of stigma about it. You're not meant to say it to anybody else because they feel embarrassed, or they feel mental health is not really recognized as a proper illness, and you can't see it. So what's actually wrong with you if I can't see it? And for me, it's always been this thing when I've been talking to that family member of mine, and he would say, I just need help. And I said, what kind of help? And he said, I just need to talk about it. And of course, being me, the first thing is listening to somebody talking about all kinds of problems. The first thing I do is I go into problem solution, because that's what I do. So give me a problem and I solve it, and I get into action straight away. And so I completely missed the thing about just listening. And so I was just, all these things were just put to me, and I'm like, that's not a problem at all. I've got it all in hand. Don't worry, I'm going to do this and this and this and this and this. And that was just not what was needed. So I've really tried very hard to listen and switch off my practical brain, which is virtually impossible, because that's the first thing that kicks in. I think I have to be on some sort of tranquilizer for that not to happen. And then the second thing is, if you can't help somebody with mental health issues, it's a real dilemma, because who do you ask to help? So say, for example, you've got somebody at home who's got, I don't know, broken back, needs to lie in bed. They fall out of bed and they say, help me back in. And you say, oh, I can't, you're too heavy. What do? You call the ambulance, you call maybe the neighbor to help, or anything like this. But who do you call when you've got somebody who needs help with mental health issues? It's really hard. You're not going to call the ambulance, or, it's really hard. Who do you contact? And the third thing that I really struggled with is that if you have somebody with mental health issues, normally, if somebody has got a serious illness in terms of like a more visible physical illness, say somebody has got, I don't know, kidney failure or something like this, as an important member of the family, you often get involved in any of the conversations that you might have with a specialist, with a consultant, anybody from the medical team that's helping that person to get better. When it comes to mental health, you're just on the outside. You don't get a say. You're not suddenly going to have somebody ring you and say, or pull you in and say, this is what's going on, and so on and so forth. There's a whole level of confidentiality and a whole level of things that are not being spoken about, and because that person has got mental health issue, they're also less likely to communicate with you. So all of that, knowing all of this, I know how people struggle with mental health issue, but I also know how people struggle who are on the outside looking in and who are desperate to help. So Mental Health Awareness Week is massively important for everybody, whether you are affected by it directly or indirectly. And just thinking that if some people, and this is a big lesson that it has been for me, if some people react in a weird way to a normal question that you ask, or a normal thing that you consider being normal, it's probably not because they're particularly unkind or a nasty person. You just don't know what goes on in people's life. You just don't know. And you don't know what they've just gone through, or whether they've just been on the edge, literally on the edge, and just that little bit of extra demand on them has tipped them over the edge, and they've lost all sense of politeness, or or just common sense or anything like this. So to cut a long story short, I've learned an awful lot having been affected by mental health issues in my family, and all I'm saying is I'm sure you all have got stories to share, stories to tell, and it is probably one of the biggest sort of hidden problems in our society we've got at the moment, and it affects all kinds of ages. It can happen just like that. Things can trigger it off, and it in my view it takes absolutely years to get out of it, and I'm sure that we can all share stories. However, on a positive side, what's always helped me is when I feel frustrated or out of control. I think that is probably the thing that I felt that I always thought was the worst. I've always taken to crafting. I've always just taken a bit of fluff and a needle, and I started stabbing it. And it's quite strange, because a lot of people think you stab it because you're angry and anxious, but actually you stab it because it's that might be the state you start, but you're not doing it to get rid of aggression. You're actually doing it because it's almost like suddenly you feel a lot calmer, and everything, I don't know, just sort of drifts away. So today's project is it's the simplest project on the planet Earth, but for somebody it might be the hardest thing to start. So let's keep the project simple. It's a round shape you needle felting, which is super easy, and the design is entirely up to you. So there's no right or wrong, just to establish that first off. And I just realized I'm patting my desk here, and I haven't even brought a felting mat. So I might just grab one, or I might just do it in my hand. I'll see how things go. But if you do have a felting mat, then use it. I think I've still got all of this here from my sewing project, where I definitely don't need a felting mat. So let's just see how everybody is. I need to find the thread where I left it off. Oh yeah, that's right. Mugs will be coming soon, says Emma. Might not quite make it for the party. Doing my best, but it won't be long after that. That's okay. We have the whole month of June to celebrate our birthday. Hi, I just got my soak clay. Excellent, Jan. Nice to see you here. Crafting goes a long way to support mental health issues, and I find it makes you feel so much better. I couldn't agree more. Counseling didn't help me. He just didn't stop talking. Oh, bless. Crafting much more help. Yeah, well, you don't get any chat back from wool, that's for sure. You just get a very satisfying noises. In fact, talking about noises, I was kindly handed a bag of crisps earlier from Sophie, and I needed to eat it quickly because I thought I couldn't possibly rustle the paper of crisps and then eating crisps while I'm needle felting. And she said I would have to crunch the crisps in the motion of my stabbing, which then made me really giggle, because I thought I either have to go really slow, like, or I've got to go really fast. So I thought I'd eat it quickly beforehand. So that's all in my tummy now, all sorted. Right, let's start out. So we start out with wool, basically. And if you haven't got the right kind of wool, I'd say definitely use wool bats, because they're just really easy. And if this is a big deal for you to start needle felting, or to start a project of any kind, then let's start with the easiest wool. And the wool bats are the easiest that I know that work. And they are sort of like all fluffed up and together, almost a 3D. They're not needle felted, it's just the way that they're processed, in that they've been brushed rather than combed. So start with wool bats. It's spelled B-A-T-T-S. Got nothing to do with a flying bat. This has definitely come from sheep. Ah, I love the smell of sheep. In fact, I wonder if you could get away with this for a face mask, because I would happily walk around smelling that while I'm in the supermarket. Just can't talk because you get fluff in your mouth. So with something that we're trying to make, something like this, you have to start at the beginning, like with everything, which is the center here in the middle. And this, believe it or not, but this together, so you end up with a big ball like that all of this is made out of this bag. This whole bowl is all of that, and this is our wool mix called gemstones. So in there you get all these gemstoney colors. You know, you've got your purples and pinks. Sorry, the light is reflecting off this, but I think you can see it. And then you've got some white and some darker colors as well, especially if you're trying to make sort of a stone colored outside. So if you look at this, this is the gray on the outside, and then when you open it up, ready, you've got all the colors inside. It is so firm and dense, it's actually quite hard to even squish it, but very satisfying. So you always end up with two of these halves, obviously, because once they're like this and then opened up, they're like that. The great thing about this is that it takes quite a while to build up the layers, and by the time you've got to a few layers, you can't actually see inside anymore. Even though you know what colors you've put inside, in your own mind, you just can't visualize what it will look like. So it's like gets really exciting when you get to the end and you just think, oh, I've got to cut this open now because I want to see what's inside. Even though you know what's inside, it's still extremely exciting to find out what's inside. And to cut this open, you will need a sharp knife. And the sharp knives, we found that if you've got a serrated knife like that, it actually works better than a smooth knife. What I will say is, for goodness sake, just watch your fingers, because this can go hideously wrong if you cut in, if you miss the wool or cut into yourself. So please, please be absolutely careful. And if you need help, ask for help for somebody to cut this open for you. Don't even try it if you have any doubt that you might not be able to manage this, because it's a little bit, I would say, in terms of vegetables, it's a little bit like cutting a butternut squash open, you know, where it's really hard to get a grip or to make an indentation, or like a ginormous sweet potato. You know how they're really solid, even though yeah, you don't think they are, but they're really solid because there's not so much water inside, so it's much, much harder to cut it open than, say, a potato or something like that. So please be careful. The way that you start out is by using a small amount of wool, and you roll this into a ball in your fingers. So the tighter you roll this to start with, the tighter it will be when you needle felt into it. So my ball is about the size of I don't know, it's about the size of a golf ball. And then you need a felting needle, and you start stabbing into it. And I'm going to do this in my hands now. But if you have got a felting mat and you want to put it down, then please do so. Don't do this if you don't feel confident doing that. And if you have a felting mat, you just lay it down and you stab into it. And you're trying to make a nice firm core to start with. It doesn't have to be like rock solid, because as soon as you put a layer over the top, you're continuing to felt the next layer below as well. So even though we're trying to make it nice and tight, we are always, whenever we're laying layers over the top, we're also still felting in the core. So we're trying to make this reasonably firm, but you don't need to spend all your energy on making this as solid as possible, because we also want it to be a little bit softer, so that the fibers actually fuse with together when you stab it. And if you've never needle felted before, the motion of needle felting is in and out in a straight line, in and out in a straight line. It's really quite simple, in and out in a straight line. That's the most important thing that you need to remember, that you bring the needle out the same way that you put it in. And it sort of makes this rasping noise. It's very satisfying. This is the bit that makes you, that transports you into another world. Because when we go to shows again, but when we have been to shows, if you give somebody just this to stab, you sometimes have to say, okay, you can give it back now, because they just don't want to stop stabbing. So it is very satisfying to stab your needle into wool like that. Very, very satisfying. There we go. I'm just going to have a little read what people are writing. So, and being outdoors helps lots. Absolutely, couldn't agree more. Being outdoors is the best thing for your soul. Just go out, listen to the birds, look around, breathe in the fresh air, take a few deep breaths, And I don't know if you're a hot weather person or a rain weather person or a windy weather person. Whatever it is, there will be at some point something happening out there that will just make you feel alive. I absolutely hate windy weather, and I just want to hide somewhere when that happens. But when the sun's out, I'm out. And so the last few days and weeks have been particularly nice for me because I love being out there. But this morning I got up and I looked out of the window and I thought, oh my God, the wind's blowing everywhere. And I just don't like that feeling. But some people love it. My children love it when the wind blows and they just want to be outside. And they say, it's so nice, Mom. It just feels like I'm alive. And I just think, oh no, I just want to crawl away somewhere. This is way too windy for me. But everybody's different. You know, some people like to be by the sea. Some people like to be on top of a mountain. I'm the on top of the mountain person, but lots of people I know like to be by the sea. So find that spot where you feel at home and where you feel one with the outdoors. So Dawn is saying, everything you just said about mental health is so true. I have found felting so therapeutic and calming. Oh, thank you, Dawn. Liz says, call me crazy, but when I'm stubbing my felt, it reminds me of the chugging of a steam train. I think it's the repetitiveness, and so that's quite, the repetitiveness is also known with other crafts, is known to be quite therapeutic, and there's a rhythm to it, so therefore it makes you feel quite, I don't know, comfortable and at home. It's the same with knitting, repetitive, and the same with stabbing. Into a needle into the wool. Okay, I should clarify this. Oh, Diane says Bambi that she made smells fantastic. Yes, well, the little Bambi that Diane is referring to is of course our Maker's Box fawn, and you've got another few days, in fact just under a week, just over a week, to get your subscription box to make this fawn. And we've seen some fantastic makes come through of people who have made the fawn, and I am absolutely in love with every single one. You've all done so well. I'm so impressed. Absolutely love it. But whilst we're talking about the Maker's Box, this is, you've seen it already, perhaps in photos, but here you can see it live. This is the needle felted, oh, I'll bring it as close as I dare. This is the needle felted picture, butterfly, peacock butterfly picture. And what's really nice about this, that it's, again, talking about therapeutic, you get all your therapy in by making this, but it's also an extremely easy project, because the way that it starts out is like this. So it's a printed cotton piece. It's our design. You can't get this anywhere else. This is ours, and then you just color it in. And so this is the fabric, white at the back, and when you've colored it in and stabbed all the wool into place, this is what it looks like afterwards. But of course, this is the right side, and you have to see it for real, because the colors are just absolutely juicy. Absolutely love this lovely orange clashing with a pink, and then these amazing shades of green. I'm in total love with this design, and I think you will be too. Such a piece of art when you've done this, and you can put it in a frame. I really like it when the frame is a little bit bigger and you've got these frizzy bits spilling out over the sides, because that just gives away a little bit how you've actually made it. I really like that when it doesn't look quite finished on the edges. But you can do whatever you like, of course. You don't have to frame it. You can just have it like this. You can mount it on a large piece of felt and hang it up on the wall like that. Just put or just hang it up as it is. Or whatever you fancy doing. It could be a part of a piece of furniture, so you could have it. I don't mean furniture, I mean like accessories for furniture, like a sofa cushion or anything like that. It will be absolutely fine. You can, once it's felted, you can rub over it. Nothing will happen with it, and I think it's really lovely. I love it. So anyway, that's the next month's Maker subscription box, which of course is June. I think I should also say that we have to increase our subscription fee for next month. So if you're subscribing for the first time next month, you will get the increase. It's not very much, but we have to reflect the postage that has gone up. And but if you're subscribing this month, if you're not already subscribed, you get the old price. So it might be worth, if you like the phone, to consider that. Remember, we don't tie you into contracts. Everything's entirely free for you to leave anytime, and also for you to skip payments if there's a month where you might not like the project, or you want to do something else, or you're not at home. Well, at the moment you probably are, but in the future you might go on a Caribbean cruise. It will all happen again one day. Right, this is my little ball, still squishy, but nice and shapely now. And now I'm going to add another color over the top. So I'm going to go for this. Now the reason why we call these mood balls is also, you could make this a long-term project. You don't have to do all of this in one sitting. You could just put the colors over the top that represent your mood on the day. So if you're feeling particularly blue, or you're missing the seaside, you could put a nice teal color over the top, and then you stab that in, and you keep going with stabbing it until all the fluffy bits are tucked in. Everything's nice and firm, and remember to keep stabbing further than just the blue cover, so that you continue stabbing the center as well. And so that will take a few minutes to establish that layer. And because I have already started on a ball earlier, I've got to my blue color here, and I'm going to continue on this one now, because, and it's quite firm. It's the size of a tennis ball now. It's quite firm, and when you get to a size like this, you can start using other tools as well. So for this, you could use our 3 needle felting tool. It's got 3 medium needles in there, and it just helps to speed up the fastening of the wool. It also means that you can just stab quite deeply, because this from here to there is where the needle sinks into the wool. As long as your project is bigger than the depth of these needles, you also can hold it in your hand and rest with confidence that it's not going to end in your fingers. So that's always the thing when you use multi-tools, it can be painful. If you don't have multi-tools, you can also just hold 2 needles. If you can manage 3, so I've got 2 needles here. Just use them. Again, stab right into the center. This all needs a little bit of oomph. So you need to give it a bit of a, you know, this is, yeah, quite extra therapeutic. And of course you can also use other multi tools. This one is I haven't even opened this yet. I couldn't find the one that we had open, but we sell all of this on our website as well, if you haven't got any. But you don't need to buy them. You are fine with just a single needle, or maybe to use 2 needles. And it's not just about the end result, it's also the process, which is what we've been talking about, the benefits to your mental health. Oh, I've opened that at the wrong end. Sorry, I'm gonna have the needles shooting out now. There. So this one has got 8 needles in with all of our felting tools. You can replace the needles, so this just screws open at the back, she said, with confidence. It does. Come on, there we go. It seems to turn and it gets stuck a bit. Right. And then if you unscrew this, there, you see all the needles are sitting in there. You can replace them, take some out if you want less needles. It's entirely up to you. So you can turn an 8 needle felting tool into a 6, 4, or whatever number. If you go to town with this, I would highly recommend that you leave it on a surface and really do watch what you're doing. So don't take your eyes off your work. It really speeds up the process. There's no doubt about it. This is really going for it. But it also will hurt a lot if you miss the ball and stab this into your hand. So be aware of that, or maybe just slow the process down. It doesn't always need to be fast. It's quite satisfying how it's crunching. I'm just going to go a little bit smaller so you get the benefit of that as well. So here you go. It's actually very satisfying. So maybe when it gets really firm, don't go like the choo-choo train. Go more like a, I don't know, like a very slow one approaching the station. Or you can use the 3 needle felting tool. Work on smaller areas. You can hold that in your hand and do it. it does get quite tired on your arm at some point. And then of course, if you've got the prim needle felting tool, you can use that as well. And that one hasn't got any needles in. Let's use the one that does. There we go. The prim needle felting tool comes without needles when you buy it. It has got up to 7 needles it takes, and that is also really, really great to use, especially because you can put the handle back on and just have that resting in the palm of your hand, which is something that you cannot do with any of the others. And again, you can also take needles out and make it a tool that just has 4 or however many needles you like. Extremely useful, these tools. I can highly recommend them. My all-time favorite is this one and that one. These I will use all the time. I'm just going to go a bit bigger again. So now I'm going to put another layer over the top, and even though I only made this ball earlier, I have actually forgotten what I've used inside. But what I did do is today, take that brown out, I have come with the juiciest and luscious colors on the planet. Look at this. So I'm going to say this really, really, really quietly, because there are 2 colors here you cannot buy from us yet. However, if you get our surprise subscription box this month, you're in business. But there are 2 colors in here that we can only do as of June. And what I'm going to do is I will, at the end of this, I will put a little color chart together. I might already do this. I might have to get up in a minute and just get a little chart, because then I can at least tell you what you need to watch out for in June. But yeah, don't tell anybody about what I've just told you about the surprise box, because I'm not meant to say, because it's a surprise. So I'm going to put another color over the top now, and I'm just trying to think, oh, let's just go really bright yellow. So this is our neon yellow. Oh, and by the way, this one here is the Rainbow Drops blue, and it's got like little colorful cotton spots in it, which I think look really lovely. So this one you can get, and this one you can get. And there are some colors inside that I tell you about too. And I think I've got some, if you've just got lots and lots of colors somewhere stashed away in a jar, or however you store your wool. The other thing that is really great is using some Angelina fiber, and I know I've got it somewhere. I left it upstairs, but I know I've got some here. So I'm going to have a look in a minute, because mixing other fibers into it, I'm just trying to work out where it is. So I'm not ignoring you. I'm just finding the things that I should have had with me automatically. Sorry, I'm still here. Oh, I left that lovely Angelina fiber upstairs. I'm such an idiot. But I'm sure I've got some more here somewhere. Come on, Angelina fiber. Oh, it's so well worth waiting for this as well. So, okay, I'm not walking away. I'm just getting some Angelina fiber. Just bear with me. I'm still here. Looking for Angelina fiber and looking for my felting mat as well. So just bear with me for a minute. No Angelina fiber. I'm still here. Sorry guys, still here. Okay, I've got a plan. Because if you get this pack, our Crystal Rocks pack, where you could be making geodes, you actually get some Angelina fiber. I'm just going to pinch that out of there. I just have to remember to put it back in before somebody buys it. Right, Angelina fiber is the most sparkly, amazing stuff. If you're feeling particularly down, just use some Angelina fiber. It's got magic properties to just put a bit of sparkle in your life, literally. And the way to do it, you hold it, you lay it onto the wool, and you just mix it with your fingers like we mix all of our wool. Just lay the 2 patches on top of each other, pull them apart, and repeat the process. And it adds instant sparkle into your work. And then lay that over the top. You might have to work in smaller batches, and then just stab it in. And you catch the sparkle in there. I don't know if you can see it in the camera, but it's really, really lovely. So I'm going for really contrasting colors here. Normally I'm a bit of a rainbow girl, but today I am just going, just doing it as I feel. And I think that's the best way to do it. Just go with your feelings, and just the most magical things will happen if you do that. So yeah, just gonna have a little look what people are saying here. That wool gets into my nose. All my wool smells of lavender to keep away the moths. I do have a sneaky sniff whenever I get a bag full of wool. Oh, I know. I'll actually have to say lavender is probably my second favorite. Well, I prefer probably lavender to smell of sheep. Actually, I should say that I love lavender smell. So that's a good choice there, Faith. Sharp knife is really effective. Emma's tip: when you cut, put on a chopping board or similar safe surface, of course, to protect you and your surface. Cut from top to bottom all the way through. And I will demonstrate that, how to cut it at the end of this, because I want to see what's inside and you want to see what's inside. And we're all waiting for that magic moment to be revealed, of course. So this way you can also mix different colors together. So you don't have to just go with the colors you've got available. You can add other colors into it. And just gonna go and stab on here a bit. Put that away, that looks a bit weird in there. This is just such a bright yellow. It is just makes me happy just looking at it. And I know that the other colors here make Emma happy as well, because we look at them together. Well, we did before the lockdown, when Emma was still in our workshop. She's currently working from home, so it's nice to catch up with her on these live streams as well. In one go, oh yeah, this goes on all the way through in one go. This will give you a smooth, clean cut. If you rotate the shape while you are cutting, you will get angles in the finished cut surface. So all in one go cutting is my recommendation. Yeah, I totally agree. But I will show you how to cut it as well. Helen says, thank you, Emma. So does Lies. Is it Lies? Am I saying it right? It doesn't seem to be, maybe it's Lies, or how would you pronounce that? L-I-Z-E. No idea. Write it down how I have to say it. Yeah, it's like, it's Donna, you're quite right. The butterfly is a little bit like felt by numbers, but you don't get numbers. You just get it broken down in different stages in the instructions. So, but it is very similar. Butterfly looks amazing. Thank you, Diane. I'm sure that it was Sophie's project, and I'm sure she will appreciate that feedback. So I'll let her know. The butterfly is delish. I've got a large felt shopper bag. I can put it on. Brilliant! What a great place to put it, and you'll get lots of people turning their head, I can tell you now, because it is very stunning. I thought that, Donna, like painting by numbers. Yes, that's right. That was always my first thought when we did painting with wool. It's a little bit like painting by numbers, and it is very satisfying to do it. You'll absolutely love it. We've tried it with smaller pictures, but I particularly like the fact that the background is colored in as well. So definitely an exciting project for the month of June. So hi Chris, hello you stalkers. Oh, your stalker's back. Oh, you're not a stalker. You're just a groupie. That's what I like to call people, a maker's groupie. It's just like you were calling to reassure an anxious toddler that you hadn't gone away. Really sweet to reassure. Yes, actually, do you know that's not a bad comparison, Jane. I'm probably too much of a mum here. Yes, that's exactly what I would have done with my children. I'm still here. I'm still here. Especially, you remember when you take them to public toilets and they, Mom, can't you come in? No, you'll be fine. Just do it by yourself. And then every 2 minutes they say, Mom, are you still there? Yes, I'm still here. I'm still here. So yeah, you're quite right, Jane. That's exactly what I did. I'm still here. So in case you wonder, what is this Maker's amazing YouTube live stream about, and I'm not even here. So yes, definitely I needed to let you know I was still here. Right, I'm just adding a bit more yellow because the blue is shining through, and I do want it to be a nice thick layer. So when you cut it open, that you can see the different layers rather than they're all sort of running into each other. And putting that on there now. I've been playing with peg dolls this morning. I don't know, some of you might know that we actually sell wooden peg dolls. It's completely different to needle felting because they're obviously, you can't needle felt onto them because they're made from wood. But they attract a lot of people who like precise work. So you can decorate them, you can paint them, you can make little outfits for them, and I quite like using felt with them. So I will just show you. I made a little row of people. Just bring them in one by one. There's one little sunshine girl. Another one, little orange lady, and there is little tomato girl, and oh, I don't know what the color that is. Maybe blackberry. And then there's oh, this is definitely a blueberry. And I'm not sure what that might be. It's just a holiday blue sky girl, or boy. And then here comes the last one, a juicy green apple. And they're really delightful, actually. I don't know if I can show them to you bigger. Let's just have a look. Yeah, that's better. So they all have little outfits. It's wood inside, so that's the wooden cone. And then the little faces, all I've done is I've just used a little color pencil, and given them different faces. And they are going to be featured on one of our tutorials, but not until July. But you can put this in your diary, obviously, because we all need to put all of these things in your diary so you don't miss out. And they're really, really, really easy to make. But if you want to have a go beforehand, we sell the felt, and we sell the peg dolls. And then we also, I don't know if you know, but we sell these wooden toadstools that come in 3 sizes. And again, I just made a little cap for it out of felt. So simple, but I think it's just really effective because they're such lovely colors and they look so nice together, and you can rearrange them so you can have them in different color arrangements. Of course, you can't take them, you can't make them not be in rainbow order, or if you do it, don't tell me about it. But I really love these a lot. So that's just been my highlight of the day this morning, that I was allowed to play with these. So yeah. Anyway, back to our geode or mood ball or whatever you want to call it. I'm just giving that layer a good old stabbing with my favorite prim tool, because it fits. If you have to give it a good old like stabbing, if you have this constantly in your fingers, it becomes quite hard work to do this. But if you can use the palm of your hand and you stab it, the whole table is moving, but that's okay. Then you get a lot more work done, and especially if you get tired fingers, then this is a great tool. You just have to watch what you're doing rather than not watching what you're doing, because you really don't want this to go into anything else other than felt ball. You will hurt yourself. Right, so got a nice juicy yellow layer on there now. Now what shall we do next? Now, this one of the walls you can't buy yet, but it is actually, it's glowing. This one's glowing. I love it. Let's have some glowing wool on there. Imagine you're feeling a bit down on a day and you just look at this. It's like eye candy. So nice. Ooh, look at these 2 colors together. Oh, love it. This is just the best. So this is our neon pink, which we currently don't sell on our website. But as I said earlier, you can get it if you buy something else, which is our surprise subscription box. But don't tell anybody. Right, so pull this nice and close. And we always change over subscription boxes at the 1st of each month. And that's, of course, is also where we now do a live stream of the Makers boxes the subscription boxes unwrapped, so you can look inside each of the boxes except for the surprise box. Next month is cupcakes, which I'm very excited about. It looks so nice. It actually looks like you want to eat it, but don't eat it. I mean, you can, but it's not going to be very nice. Quite chewy. There. Stuff that wool in. Get all that lovely. But if you want to do this with an individual needle, I'm only speeding work up. You probably get more of a therapeutic effect out if you just stab it with a single needle, or with a 3 needle felting tool. So the multi tool is really about speed, building up a bit of speed and just going for it. And I must say that prim tool, not that I'm biased in any way or form, goes in the best. So it goes all the way until it hits that blue part here where the needles sit in. I really love that one. Yeah. What color shall we put on next? Got that bright pink. We've got to have to put the other one on that you can't get yet. Got to put that on, right? Bright green. Ah, oh, so nice. Such a beautiful one. Maybe not that fat. A bit lighter. So as you get to the outside of the ball, you will use more wool, and so which is also why, but if you get the gemstone pack, if you look at this, so you leave the white and the darker colors for the outside, because then you can have the nice concentrated colors on the inside, the brighter colors. But it's entirely up to you. If you're making a mood ball, you might want to start out with the darker colors and work your way around to the lighter colors. Just a few tips if you want to make the ball extra firm. Then once it's felted, you can just chuck it in the washing machine and wash it. So the wool fibers will tighten that well, will shrink a bit more through the washing process, and you've got a really solid ball. You can also now, oh yes, this one here. So Sophie put a little resistant in the center, so it could be something that you can remove again, like a scrunched up piece of plastic bag or something like that. You felt it, you might sort of stab into it, but just keep felting the layers around it. And then and she didn't felt it very much at all, but then she put elastic bands. So imagine that was the whole shape, obviously, and you can still sort of see. Yeah, that's it. So on the outside you can see where this is like squished in. That's where she put elastic bands, or in this case I think she really tied it tight with a strong string or thread, so it was pulling in, and then she put it in a washing machine, and as it was felting, these ties made these special shapes inside, and I think that's really magic. So you can play with the whole thing as well. Or you can just keep it completely, you know, if you want to make something that you like for decoration, or it looks more decorative, then just pick your own colors and arrange them however you want. But we do have ready wool bags for you to, I couldn't actually find the rainbow geode, but the one that we've is on the picture of the live stream is literally all of these colors in one great big ball, and the ball is that size, and it has all these colors in it. And if you look at the live stream picture when we advertised it, that's all in there. So that's the 15 color rainbow, and then we've also got the 8 color rainbow, so slightly less color choice in there. And then, as I said, we've got the actual crystal rock that comes with instructions if you need them. And it also comes with little glass beads that you can sew on or glue on. But it's got a lovely color range there as well. And then we've got the gemstone pack, which I showed you earlier, which makes that one. If you don't want to use your own colors, if you want to have a particular theme, or you want to have them all at the ready for you just to lay out, then that's the way to do it. But you can just make this with any wool butts you've got at home. If you want to not buy anything new, we don't want you to feel obliged that you have to purchase from us because we're showing you these things. Sometimes it's a good way to get rid of wool scraps and wool rests, and even if you can't cover the whole of the ball, you can always cover it a bit and then just, it's potluck how you cut it, which color will be exposed. I've seen people make much smaller ones, cut them and then wear them like a little brooch. They look really charming that way as well. So they don't have to be big if you don't want them to be big. And remember, I'm using this multi-tool because I'm speeding the process up so I can get to a point where I can cut this open. So now I've got the color of a tennis ball, but it's not the size anymore. It's definitely bigger now. And I do want to put another color over the top. So, ooh, let's use some of this. This is our blue-green shimmer. I don't know if you can see it, but it does have a little bit of Angelina fiber mixed in it already. So I'm going to put this over the top here now. That's probably going to be my last layer, so I can cut it open after that. But you can see I have gone for quite contrasting colors, and some of them are clashing, some of them are harmonious next to each other. We all see colors different, so there is no right or wrong. It's just that I have a particular, I think I'm a bit OCD when it comes to color arrangements, and I know a lot of people haven't got the clue what I'm talking about when I say, oh, this really hurts my head, but you have to rearrange the colors now. I can't look at this, and oh, yeah, so anyway, rainbow order is always good, but there is lots of other orders that I really love too. But there are some orders that I actually I actually feel physically ill when I see them. But that's not a judgment. That's just me. So yeah, sorry. I don't want to make you feel bad now in case the colors that you arrange are wrong. In my view, they're never wrong because they're your arrangement. We even have this sometimes when I see green and Sophie sees blue, or the other way around. So we all have different perceptions of colors, and we all see it differently. So there is no right or wrong. As long as it makes you happy, that's the main thing. Don't care about anybody else, what they say and what they think is the right or is the right way. So as far as I know, there's no color police, and I can't even claim to be it either, because that's not my place. So do whatever you like. If it's all jumbled together, that's fine too. Right. So let's just see what people are saying. Oh, Jane says you always give me a giggle during your programs. Bless you. Do you know what? I always give myself a giggle during the programs too, because I think I've never quite grown out of being a child. And actually, I am quite how can I say, at home, I'm always the boring adult. I'm always the one that pulls everybody up and say, no, let's just be sensible about this. I don't let that child out at home somehow, because I've got 4 children, and somebody needs to be the adult there, I suppose. But when I'm crafting and when I'm here at the makers, and when I spend time with Sophie, I think we just turn into complete children most of the time. And I think that's the fun about us running our business, is that we are actually allowed to play. So at home I've got to be the grown-up, and here at work I'm allowed to play. So that's probably a good balance that way around. Lizzie, I think. Is that? Oh, it's Lizzie. So you're, oh, I see, you spell it L-I-Z-E. I do apologize. I've always pronounced it wrong. So I will now, from now on, only call you Lizzie, and I'll probably have to say it 10 times now, because I've called you probably 10 times the wrong name. Lizzie, 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 Lizzie. So I've made up for all of those times. Thank you, Emma. Yes, thank you for Emma too. The Peck people could join the Doll's House. Absolutely. Amethyst girl, Bluebell girl, or Ocean girl. Oh, that's a good way of describing them. Thank you, Donna. Sorry, Chris, that took me a while to work out what you just said. Sorry. So Chris says, Stedolfel devotee. That's what Chris is. A Stedolfel. Oh, I can't even say it now. Stedolfel. He's a Stedolfel devotee, and that stands for Stay for Steffi, Doll for Doll, and Fel for Felt. Oh, you're so nice. Thank you, Chris. I appreciate that. Yes, Faith, you, wow, love that color much. Thank you. Excellent. It would make a great dryer board. Absolutely, it would. You can make your own dryer balls. It would just be, I think I would go crazy thinking that there's all these amazing colors in there and they have to stay hidden. But maybe you could use it for a dryer ball for a bit, and then on a special day you set yourself a special day, and then you allow yourself to cut it open. So this is my outer layer now. Got it all nice and stubbed down. I could stub this more, but only just. And now will be the grand moment to cut it open. There. It is definitely firm, and you can make it bigger if you want to, or you can make it a lot smaller, have lots of small layers, and then cut it open. And like I said, some people wear it as a brooch. I'm just going to give it a few more, or you could make earrings out of it, or a necklace. They're really, really, really pretty if you start getting into it and you want to. It's definitely burning some calories doing this. I think my bag of crisps might be disappearing slowly. Just love that acid green. I love it too, Lizzie. My favorite color felt so far. So glad I've got my grubby paws on it. Thank you. Love the dryer idea. Chris says a couple of drops of essential oil would make your washing smell nice, and it would soften your clothes without fabric softener. That's a good idea. I never use fabric softener. I actually really like my clothes when they're nice and hard. I love towels when they're nice and crisp as well. And also in the winter, we have so many things. We always put them in the dryer, and you're not meant to use fabric conditioner in a dryer. So that's an excellent idea. Emma says, oh, Chris, that's an idea. What about making Palin core wool balls with lavender oil in between? I don't know what Palin is. Either I'm missing something or whatever. The layers, like Geode, that you won't cut open. I'm not sure about that. Then you could use as a scented dryer balls. Yeah, maybe just use one color for that. Otherwise, you'll always be wondering, what was the color inside again? Lizzie, do you think it's possible to make a very small rainbow geode as a pendant? Absolutely. Just don't use great big tools like this. Just use your single needle. Make sure that you the layer does cover, so there's no, you can't see through, but it doesn't need to be as thick a layer. And yeah, and just keep it small. You can totally do that. I have made small ones about that size, and then you don't have to cut it bang in the middle. You can also cut it slightly to the side if you want one side slightly bigger than the other. So it doesn't have to be bang on in the middle. You can also cut a wedge out. So if you wanted it to show like almost like a 3D shape inside. I get it. Rainbow order. Okay. Okay. Oops, I have just done a Steffi and read the comments backwards. You guys have already thought of that. Yes, Emma, that would be cool and work better than a cut open one. Kathy. Oh, hi, Kathy. Inspired to go and find the kit I got from you. Look, great fun. Definitely go. If you've got a kit sitting around, what are you waiting for? This is the easiest project ever, and it's just perfect. If you feel a bit jittery, or if you just need a few minutes to calm your nerves, maybe you've just had I don't know, just been annoyed by something you've seen on the news, or maybe you feel worried about something, just shut the world out for a bit, and yeah, just have a bit of a break by stabbing. Okay, I'm going to go close up now because we want to I want to open this up with a knife. Wish me luck. Remember that you are meant to do this safely at home on a cutting board. I've got a cutting board here, but you could maybe have a kitchen cutting board. I'm using serrated a serrated knife. If your knife is blunt, don't even bother doing it, because you definitely not going to do this as easily. I'm holding it between the knives so that my fingers are definitely not in the way, and I'm cutting. This is exciting. Woo! You can't see anything yet, not gonna lie. Oh my goodness, this is just I love doing this. I've been doing these sometimes at the show, just standing behind the stand, and then you think, oh, I just got more, and you stab away like some crazy person stabbing. Right, I've got to the end, and now let's cut it open. Okay, if you've got really tiny ones, you could cut them. I'm gonna have a look fast. Oh my God, this is just, it's just the best ever. Okay. Okay, so I've done it now, and it's lovely to have seen you all, and we see you next time then. Yeah, cheerio, bye. Only joking. No, you can't miss this. Okay, so there's my ball, and are you ready for this? Ready, steady, woo! How nice is this? So don't worry about the bits that are sticking out, because we can use a felting needle and just tidy them away. Or you can just use scissors and cut them off. But I think this is just, oh, I love the colors in this one. So I've used a little bit of Angelina fiber in the center, which you can't see so well because it's so well felted. It's really solid. That Prim needle felting tool has done the job marvelously. So with these bits on the end, just use a slightly finer needle and just tidy the ends up. That's absolutely fine. You can do that. You can see that they're disappearing as I'm felting into it. Okay, could somebody please tell me that this is absolutely amazing? I love it. Look. It's all the colors. Da-da-da. Nice and bright. And now tell me, you would have had this as a dryer ball, and all this magic inside would have just been going round and round the dryer, and nobody would have been able to see it, not even the washing, because it's closed up. So yes, aha, you can see that this one I've tidied up a bit. This one needs a bit of tidying up, but like I say, just use your felting needle and just stab it into the sides so that you tuck in these loose fibers a little bit. And while I was up, I should have got a little, I'm just going to get a cardboard piece, not a cardboard, like a card piece I've got here, so I can write on it what wools I've used, and then you can, if you wanted to copy this one, you could. So I think I started with a neon yellow, which is this one, and I've got my stapler still here. That's the neon yellow. So I'll put this later. We put this on wherever it needs to go on the Facebook page at least. So that's the New Zealand neon yellow. That's the first one. Okay, I'm just going to go a little bit closer so that you can see the colors that I'm writing down. So that's the New Zealand neon yellow, and then I've gone straight to the pink neon. So neon pink. This one at this moment in time, which is May 2020, it's not on our website until June. So that's the New Zealand neon pink. And then after that, I went for the green. Oh God, these colors are just so nice. Absolutely nice. There, that's the neon green. That's also not available at the moment, but it will be in November. Yes, it will be in November as well, but also in June. Neon green. And then after that, I went for the, I think it's this one, which is the this is the Australian turquoise, or yeah, I think we call it, so it's Australian merino, and it's turquoise. So it's Australian merino turquoise. And then after that, oh yes, after that I went for this lovely, this is when you joined, is that blue, the cotton, with the cotton spots in it, the rainbow drops blue. If you had that on the outside, that would be fun too. And I think my layer here isn't very big to see the blue, is just a bit here. So that's the New Zealand rainbow drops blue. And I think after that, I was repeating the patterns. So these are the colors that I've used here today. Oh no, and there was also on the outside is the blue-green shimmer. So I will, yeah, I haven't got an extra piece, but I'll just put that on here. So it's the blue-green shimmer. And I've also used Angelina fiber to mix in, and I've used the pink and blue Angelina fiber. I think they're called something like, can't quite remember what they're called, but I for the photo later I will add in the blue-green shimmer here, but this is basically what I've used to make that one. So if you want to copy this one, we have all of these available separately, starting in 50-gram portions. But otherwise, just use what you've got, or you could use completely different colors as well, of course. Doesn't have to be this, but this has been definitely fun making that. So if you want to make more of an amethyst type geode, then just stick with purples, white, and then the gray for the stone outside. We do have packs for that, and or you could do the gemstone one that has got all the gemstone colors. They can be rearranged, they don't have to be in that order, or just have a play, or do the rainbow. Whatever takes your fancy. There is no right or wrong. This was just right for me today. I just absolutely love these, so I'm just gonna yeah, have these now, maybe as earrings, or I don't know, shoulder pads, or you can't see them, whatever. Yeah, this is definitely really juicy, these colors. I love that one. If I may say so about my own creations. So what are you all saying? Oh, I see, Emma. So going back, Palin meant plain. Okay, sorry, I didn't really. Oh, and Emma likes crispy towels as well, so that's. Don't you wash it first? No, you don't wash this one first. You don't have to. You can if you don't want to stab it. I have to say, this Prim tool has. I can't wait to show it, to let Sophie try it, because she always swears on these, but I don't think she's tried the Prim tool on these projects. That is absolutely, it really is amazing. It even here where this has been in the washing machine, the needles still fit in, so that you could still felt with this one on here. Whereas when it gets to that, I'm actually worried about breaking a needle if I go in any yeah. So I think this is definitely the winner for me today. And you can wash it first to firm it up even more. That's right, Emma. Or if you felt it as hard as I did mine, the hot wash made no further difference. That's right. So this one is pretty solid, and you can always tell that they're pretty solid because the layers are completely fused together. There's no gap of any kind. Chris, that is awesome. Thank you. Faith. Oi. Faith. Cheeky Steffi, what did I say? Oh, what did I say? I've already forgotten. Oh, I don't know. I must have said something. Lizzie says that's gorgeous. Thank you, Lizzie. Diane, brilliant. Donna, wow. Helen, wow. Have to start mine now. Absolutely. Love it, so bright and pretty. And Jan says really pretty. Jane says very bright and cheery. Exactly. That was the whole purpose. So for me today, it was all about really bright, clashing colors. I could have gone in a completely different, on a different tangent. I could have done all blues and all greens. I love those as well, or all pinks. Or maybe more natural colors. We've had people who've given us feedback, and they absolutely love using colors and making more like, now what are they called again? Are they geologists? You know, people who study stones. I've forgotten what they're called. Or you can actually, talking about stones, oh, you can make, in that way, you can make pebbles as well. This is one of my favorite projects that I've made. It's very, very, yeah, it's very tactile and very, you just want to look at it and feel it all the time. So these are just basically balls without the layers on it, and then you just add the stripes on the outside. They have been put in the washing machine, and when I first tried, the first time I put, oh, it's gone overboard. The first time I tried putting something in the washing machine, I thought, Oh, I've got so much washing every day. The washing's just piling up all the time. It doesn't matter. I never get to the end of it. It's like Groundhog Day for washing. And I thought I can't possibly justify to just put pebbles in the washing machine. It was breaking my heart. I thought I could be washing all this washing. So I thought, oh well, nobody's to know. Just put all my pebbles in the washing machine together with the clothes. So what I should have done is, yes, you can wash your clothes and pebbles together, but put your pebbles into a separate container. I think it was days and days later where the children said, Mom, I found a pebble in my pants. Yeah, they get everywhere. But in any case, it does work. So you don't have to waste a wash. Just put all your whites in with it. Just put it on a high setting and off you go and let the felting take place. Once you've shaped it into a shape, let it firm up in the washing machine. Of course, you can still do this all by hand as well, as we just did with the geode. But this is basically it. So whether you do geodes or whether you do pebbles or maybe pom-poms and string them up, all of that is basically the same thing what I've just done. So go for it. Let's just see what else people are saying. Excellent. So everybody seems to be quite impressed with that. I'm going to leave it at that. I'm getting all fidgety here. So tonight, I'm not going home early today. Well, I never go home early. But tonight I'm staying on extra long because it's 7 o'clock, which means nothing to anybody who's watching this in a few weeks' time. But at 7 o'clock, I will be doing a live stream to make a simple gnome, like the one that I did before here on the YouTube tutorial. So you can find this also on YouTube if you want to know how to make him. It's just a very simple shape with a little cone shape hat, a great big nose, and a lovely lush beard and a little dumpy body. And they're really great for decorations around the house. They're great for Christmas if you turn them into Tomten and all that kind of stuff. So I will be doing that at 7 p.m. on Facebook, and you have to find the Creative Craft show. So this is where we normally go to the shows. They're doing all these amazing tutorials and workshops for free on Facebook, and I will be on at 7 o'clock for 45 minutes. So look it up if you are watching live and you've got time tonight. You'll see me again. And otherwise, if you want to see this tutorial, if you can still find it on Facebook later on, then that's fine. Otherwise, we do have a video tutorial for this already, so you might have seen it already anyway. That's all from me today. Thank you so much for watching again. It's a bank holiday weekend coming up, so I know I'm not doing anything on Tuesday, not on anything on Monday, but I might be doing something on Tuesday, which I have no idea what that might be. So just read the last few comments, and maybe if Emma is still listening, she will be able to tell us what's up next. So Chris says, do it as a gift and put a small tumble crystal in the center. Oh, then the gift can be opened to get the stone, and then you have the ball as well. Oh, that's nice. Just need to be careful you don't break the needles. That is true. So don't step onto the crystal. That's a really nice idea. Yeah, but then if you know it's inside and you're stepping on the outside, and as long as when you build up the layer, at some point you can step a bit more because the needle won't reach right into the center. I think that's a really good idea. Thank you. And so does Lizzie thinks that's a good idea as well. The pebble project caused me pain. Some severe stabbing injuries from getting giddy with the needles. Oh dear. Yeah, don't overdo it. Just yes, just pace yourself or just use an amazing tool. So thank you very much again for watching today. I'm gonna say goodbye now, and I save some of my energy for later for 7 o'clock. And then I see you next week with whatever is up. Sometimes it's nice to have a surprise, including for me. So I see you next week, and take care in the meantime. Have a lovely weekend. Stay safe. Keep stabbing and stay sane. And just be happy. See you soon. Bye.